Have you ever lived this exact day? Your alarm rings at 6 am. Last night you laid out your running shoes, promising yourself, tomorrow I will begin. But your thumb hits the snooze before your feet touch the floor. And that run, it's postponed to this evening. By lunch, you promised yourself a clean meal. But somehow you're scrolling delivery apps, picking the same unhealthy option again. Because comfort feels easier than change and commitment. Later, you tell yourself, one cigarette, one reel, one sweet, just for today. And before you know it, the day has passed, and you're lying in your bed at 1 am, whispering to yourself, tomorrow will be different. But you have made these promises before, and the loop just keeps tightening until one day you don't trust your own words anymore. It's not just about the habit, it's about what it does to your self respect, to the way you see yourself. You know better, you want better, but still something drags you back. And every time you give in, it feels like you've let yourself down again. This frustration, this inner battle, it's not new, and you are not alone in it. Even Arjun, the great warrior of Mahabharata, felt it. Standing on the battlefield, overwhelmed, he asked Krishna, O Keshav, why does a person commit sin even against their own will, as if compelled by some unseen force? It's a question many of us are still asking today. Why do I act against my own good? And Krishna's answer is timeless. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, Shlok 37, he says, कामना अग्नि की तरह कभी तृप्त नहीं होती. ये ज्ञानी व्यक्ति का भी ज्ञान ढक देती है. ये हमारे अंदर का शत्रु है जो हमेशा हमें भ्रमित करता है. It is desire, born of passion, which consumes and corrupts everything. Know this to be the real enemy. He says, it's not you that's broken, it's the mind that's clouded by cravings. That rush, that pleasure, that escape, they create a fog, and in that fog, we forget who we are. We act not from a higher self, but from a temporary agitated versions of us. But Krishna also reminds us in chapter 3, Shlok 42, इंद्रियों से ऊपर मन है, मन से ऊपर बुद्धि है, और बुद्धि से भी ऊपर आत्मा है. Above the senses are the sense objects. Higher than the senses is the mind. Above the mind is the intellect. But even higher than the intellect is the self. You are not your craving. You are not your habit. You are the witness to all of it. You are the soul, the one who observes. That part of you that feels the regret, the one whispering you're meant for more, that's your true self, trying to take the wheel again. When we let the cravings lead us, the soul takes the back seat and we forget our power. The goal isn't to break your habits, it's to return to your higher self. And once you remember who you are, the real work begins. Because knowing is not enough. Krishna says action matters. In chapter 3, Shlok 8, he says, अपना नियमित कर्म करो, क्योंकि कर्म करना अकर्म से हमेशा उत्तम है. सिर्फ सोचने से कुछ नहीं होता. तुम्हारे शरीर का पालन भी बिना कर्म के संभव नहीं है. Perform your prescribed duties, for action is better than inaction. Even the maintenance of the body would not be possible without work. So yes, awareness is powerful, but transformation needs effort. Start small, but start. You don't need to fix everything today, but you can win one small battle every day. Wake up and don't hit that snooze. Choose the walk, the water, the prayer. Pause before the next, one last time, and every small choice becomes a signal to your soul. I haven't given up. Because when you begin aligning your actions with your inner truth, not only do you regain trust in yourself, but you also feel more connected to God. This life, this body, this mind isn't just yours. It's a gift Krishna trusted you with. And when you treat it with care, when you choose action over delay, clarity over cravings, trust over comfort, that's when change begins. Not overnight, but moment by moment, step by step, and each step is a prayer.